this election, one of the issues, and that was rightly pointed out by senior journalist Mr. Kala, will be a polarizing election when we see it. But having said that, there were other issues that the Prime Minister also raised. That, number one, was the topic of infighting. Where you come down to it, suddenly now you see once again your own party unit in Rajasthan sniping at each other. And what possibly the Rajasthan Congress unit would have hoped was that the infighting in Rajasthan, because the lack of a chief ministerial face being announced, Vasundhara Raje might turning rogue. That's not happening. They're moving in a cohesive unit.
So, Preeti, let me just address these issues. The Prime Minister raised some important issues. I think we should really be talking about them. As far as the Hindu-Muslim of BJP, I will not talk about that. Let them talk about it. We will talk about the issues that matter. The Prime Minister raised a few issues, and please, I beg your indulgence because you gave the BJP spokesperson a lot of time. The Prime Minister talked about paper leaks, for example. And, you know, paper leaks, whenever they happen, they're very unfortunate. It's sad that these things happen. But, you know, how can the Prime Minister say that he's going to fix things in Rajasthan when in Madhya Pradesh, in early 2023, this year, 12 out of 15 statewide exams, they got leaked. So why did the Prime Minister not do anything in Madhya Pradesh, for example? He talks about crime rate. Of course, crime rate is bad, and of course, Rajasthan must improve. And actually, Rajasthan in 2022 improved 5% compared to 2019. But how can the Prime Minister talk about crime in Rajasthan when the crime rates in states like Haryana are far more?
No, not far more. Mr. Saws, I'll give you the time to speak, but let me interject you. Not far more. Number one is the state of Rajasthan. When you look at NCRB data, crime against women, number one state.
Let me, you know, Preeti, please.
Go ahead.
I did not say crime against women per se. And of course, crime against women is horrible. I was talking about overall crime rates. Overall crime rates in Rajasthan are far lower than in Haryana and Uttar Pradesh.
You're shifting goalposts, sir.
And by the way, Madhya Pradesh, that's data. And the Prime Minister should not be talking about crimes against women because he did not even speak once when that unfortunate video of Manipuri women came out. Did not even speak once. He was forced. We had to literally beg him to speak. So he has no standing when it comes to trying to improve the situation of women in this country. When he talks about employment, you know, or unemployment for that matter, you know, of course, Rajasthan, like many other states in the country, are suffering. But how can you talk about unemployment when in Haryana, the unemployment rate is the highest in the country? So, but I do remember that the Prime Minister makes wonderful promises. And who can forget, if you remember 2014, he said, I will do in 60 months what others could not do in 60 years. And let me tell you what he's done in 60 years. Of course, Modi hai to mumkin hai. Unemployment rate during his time as Prime Minister reached a 5-decade high. Household savings in this country dropped to a 50-year low. In 2017, credit growth slowed to a 55-year low. Of course, he did in 60 months what nobody else could do in 60 years. He promised to double farmers' income. Has it happened? He promised 2 crore jobs a year. And today, I think he again promised something like 16 crore jobs, and now 16 crore jobs are going to get created. He talked about, I don't want to talk about 15 lakh rupees. I don't want to talk about manufacturing will be 25% of GDP. I don't want to talk about the black money being brought back from Swiss banks into India. Meanwhile, people with black money have started running out of the country. Mehul Bhai Choksi or Lalit Bhai Modi. Meanwhile, some cronies are running the country with Mr. Modi. So it's all very well to make promises. But the question is, what are you delivering?
Okay, delivering on promises, but the fact is...
Please let me finish.
Okay,
Does the Prime Minister have any credibility in terms of delivering on his promise? You know, the NDA is a nothing-doing alliance. Nothing-doing alliance. No delivery alliance. And I think people are recognizing it. And that is why you see opinion poll after opinion poll now saying that the BJP is likely to lose all 5 states that are going to elections.
We don't know. Okay, we'll only know that when that last vote is counted on what that comes down to. Ma'am, let me go back to Mr. Kala. You've already given him a earful in the beginning. I want to go right back. He's a senior journalist, and maybe, Mr. Kala, we spoke about, yes, polarization will be a poll pitch, and we can see it. The writings on the wall on that account. Moving on from there. Modi guarantee card versus the Gehlot guarantee card. Modi is still extremely popular, where as a leader Rajasthan is concerned, and possibly putting him on the ticket will work a lot better than even putting the likes of Vasundhara Raje on the ticket. As a unit, Mr. Kala, it does seem that the BJP, at least of the last few days, is rolling around better than, say, a Congress.
Indeed, Preeti, and before I answer, I would like to just respond to the BJP panelists. She made a lot of hue and cry about incidents, but didn't speak a word pertaining to Rajasthan. That is what we call a classical beat around the bush kind of thing. But coming back to your question, at the moment, it's a thing that we are going to see how people vote on that account. The Prime Minister today has said a Modi guarantee card. How popular he is remains to be seen. And I think BJP is taking a gamble with a pendulum state like Rajasthan by putting the Prime Minister's face out, because always it is being said that he's very effective in the Lok Sabha elections, but when it comes to the state elections, he's not that effective. And with Rajasthan showing a pattern that, we are a pendulum state, he is taking his chances. At the moment, the BJP is looking like getting its act together. They are looking and they're posturing as though they are coming together. How much of that unity will be for real? We'll all see once the candidates are announced as to which Kshatrap. They have developed 5-6 different leaders now, all have their followers and aspirants. How does that come together? How will the BJP handle the seat distribution would be the crux. It will be the crux for the Congress as well, because... But
compared to the Congress, Mr. Kala, how do you see the BJP faring better right now, or the Congress?
In the last few days, as I previously also said, the BJP is now looking to get their act together. They are looking far more energized, and there is a buzz around them. Whereas for the Congress, everybody is saying the contrary thing, that the moment you have an election code of conduct out, when the power of chief minister is not what it remains in a regular day, then you will see the Kshatraps playing out on their own. How many seats, who will be given, would be remaining. Will the chief minister get an upper hand or not? In the BJP, at least, there is a clarity that most of the things are decided top down. There is no such clarity at the moment in the Congress party going forward.
All right. Okay. So, Sanju Verma, you have something to smile about. Maybe say thank you to Mr. Kala, who's clearly putting the BJP ahead right now, at least in the last, what has gone down in the last few days.
Okay. Preeti, I have nothing personal against anyone, not against Mr. Kala either. I just want to make a couple of points. I was told that this debate is on Modi guarantee versus Congress guarantee. And since Salman Soz of the Congress, gave a litany, a long list of Modi ne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya, we've not got this, we've not got that, 15 lakh nahi mile, aisa ho gaya, waisa ho gaya. I just want to say a couple of things. It was in 1985 that Indira Gandhi introduced, the Indira Gandhi Awas Yojana was introduced by the Congress, 1 year after her death. It was in 1985 that you introduced the crop insurance scheme, when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And it was in 2009 again when you introduced in the memory of Rajiv Gandhi the Rajiv Awas Yojana. And beat Indira Awas Yojana of 1985, Rajiv Awas Yojana of 2009, beat the ICDS scheme of 1975, you did nothing. Today under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, 4 crore houses have been built. You started the direct benefit transfer when in 2013, you did not transfer a single penny to the pockets of the poor. Whereas in just last 9.5 years, we've transferred 28 lakh crore, which is more than 12.5% of India's GDP. Then let me tell you one more thing. In 2010, to help the senior citizens, you started the Swavlamban Yojana. You did nothing. Till you were booted out in 2014, we started the Atal Pension Yojana, which has already benefited close to 3 crore senior citizens. Let me give you another example. You started the Jan Aushadhi Kendras in 2008. And when we came to power in 2014, there were only 31 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Today, there are more than 9,300 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Last but not the least, Preeti, P. Chidambaram made fun of Digital India, which was started in 2015. You started Digital India under the National E-Governance Plan way back in 2005-06, and you did nothing. Today, 15 lakh crore worth of UPI trades are done every single month, which is more than 6.5% of India's GDP. And last but not the least, You started the crop insurance scheme way back in 1985 and did nothing for farmers.
Okay.
Today,
Salman
under
Sauz,
the aegis of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana,
okay.
more than 29
Salman
crore
Sauz, if you
farmers
question
get benefits.
the deliverability of the BJP, then it might be a little rich, because even if you look at the Gehlot guarantee card, most of these guarantees have come up to the last 4 months of Rajasthan going to vote.
No, Preeti, I disagree. I mean, if you think about, there are not just the Rajasthan government, whether it's the Rajasthan government, whether it's the Karnataka government, whether Himachal Pradesh or Chhattisgarh, we have a story of delivery because, let's face it, the Congress party is fighting, in some ways with the backstop to the wall. So we cannot afford to not be accountable. Unlike the Prime Minister and his party, they become very arrogant. They feel that they can win any election, and of course, they keep losing elections now. But the fact of the matter is that we are delivering. When Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot promised 500 rupees for a gas cylinder, he didn't do it in the last 4 months. He announced it in December 2022, well before the election had to happen. The Prime Minister can now come and say, Modi guarantee dega, but we know what the Prime Minister Modi's record. It is a record of failure.
Okay.
Think about Karnataka. We promised that women would travel free. We have passed that scheme. We promised that women would get financial support. We passed that scheme.
But Mrs. Sauz, I'm coming at the end of this debate.
One more thing. In Himachal Pradesh, when we revived the old pension scheme, in some ways that has resonated across the country. Why? Just yesterday, you have lakhs upon lakhs of people in Delhi agitating for the old pension scheme because they get it.